Joe,
my everything. Uh-oh. Hang on. Nope.
Are we all good?
I think we're good. I'll get a thumbs up from Hi, everybody.
Thumbs up from chat.
I'll get a thumbs up from one room over from our moderator.
Ottawa's not too far.
No, it's good because the nights we don't fireside chat, it's like, what insane, crazy thing are we going to play? And it's usually Helldivers or I just got into Phasmo. I don't know why. I don't know why it took me so long, and also I don't know why I finally did. They're both like.
I've heard so many good things with Helldivers. I haven't hopped onto it. I haven't really played too many like PC games lately because I got a Switch 2. So a lot of my time's been taken up with the Switch 2 and playing Pokemon Legends ZA.
Oh man,
I'm like 100 hours deep in that.
I just realized I was up. So we're playing. Hi, chat. Sorry, chat. We're mid conversation. This is just Doc and I just kind of like fall back into it. Like, there's a couple guests that come on that I have to really prep for, and then there's
there's me where we just ramble for hours.
Yeah. Yeah. The Race Affinity guys, the same way. Like they came out of nowhere and were like, "Hey, we crash cars on Monday nights, and we want to do something for charity." And so then it was just like, how do I not watch this every Monday night? It's the most bonkers thing. And they, I don't even know what they spend on steering wheels and pedals and all the stuff that makes the experience as fun as it is. But yeah, but there's some folks that's just kind of like, I know what we're going to talk about. It's going to be fine. So yeah, talking about parenthood before we came on, but I should probably tell everybody who we are before we keep going. Let me do that.
Sure.
Yeah. So welcome everybody to the Innocent Lives Foundation charity stream Fireside Chat. I'm Rev3 Dude, aka Nick Kelly. I'm happy to host like always. The Innocent Lives Foundation is a non-vigilante, nonprofit organization that focuses on three key areas. Number one, we identify anonymous online child predators and help to geolocate them, compile their communications, and hand them over to law enforcement. Number two, we develop and deliver specialized training for law enforcement. And then number three, and I think this is where we overlap the most, Doc, is we provide educational resources for parents, teachers, and caregivers. And you can find out more at innocentlinesfoundation.org, and I'm sure my mod will put that in the chat because I broke all the commands again, is what I do. And my guest, Dr. Jean-Luc Williams, aka Dr. Goku, from GuardiansMH, an organization we have a lot of overlap with, but we just sort of vibe with everybody that we know. Is it's always like, I don't know, there's certain people when you walk in the room and you can wave to them, and certain people you want to shake their hand, and other people you just want to walk up to, you need to bear hug them, and I think that's kind of like the way that we kind of coexist. There it is. Look at that. Look at my mod.
Look at putting that in the chat.
Exactly.
Yeah, because I think we've been working together for a number of years now.
Do you know that what was the last mental health plan? Wolverine? Was that the last one you guys did?
Yeah, we did Wolverine, and before that we did. What did we do before that?
One of them was 2023. Like it's been at least like 3 years, if not 3 years and change. And I know we're doing another one coming up because ILF Fest is going to be in July. I already announced it. That's not a spoiler. I would tell you if it was spoilers, but yeah. So we're going to do July. What I didn't tell anybody, I was about to tell you, which was when I stopped myself and I'm like, I should probably let everybody know who we are instead of just assuming that they dial into every episode. We're going to do a Star Wars Day gaming session, and it's going to be Star Wars Battlefront 2, which apparently is like the best multiplayer one.
It is really good. I actually got Joe into it a couple months ago.
Really? If you guys want to come on, like, we'll talk offline, but if you guys want to come on and jam it out with us, I found out today, like, one of the other volunteers was like, hey, if you guys play Star Wars, can I play? And I was like, yeah, sure. This is what we're playing. I told her, and she goes, I cosplay the lead from that when I go to conferences. And I'm like, oh, but she also didn't know we have a pit droid. So he's not over here because he's getting some emergency surgery, but we literally have a 4-foot Lives L1-V35. Like, Lives is our pit droid. So
Joe just mentioned in chat in our like my DMs that apparently he's getting a double voice. So I don't know if they're hearing my mic twice somehow.
Okay, hold please. Let me see.
Yeah. Technical difficulties.
It's yeah. Oh, you know what it is? I probably Hang on one second. Let me get my IT department.
Yeah.
This is what happens when you go from game capture to Zoom. Like it's
Mhm.
always there's different settings. Yep, that's good to
Probably
know
here
though.
like probably like capturing two separate times, or either like on OBS or on Zoom.
Yeah. All right, give me one sec. Talk among yourselves.
Sorry about that, chat. Hopefully we can figure out where the issue is.
Let's go look at all the browsers. Look at all the browsers in the back and make sure I don't have you on here twice. I probably do. Oops. No, I don't have our stream up. So this one? Yeah. Yep. Say something to me, Doc.
How about now? Is that turning? That sounding a little bit better now?
Scroll down. Scroll down? Oh, okay, hang on. That thing, turn that off. All right. How about now?
How about now? Let's see if that works.
Let's see if we get a thumbs up from Joe. I didn't scroll down. There's a second audio.
No, I'm still hearing myself double on chat.
You're still double on chat. Okay. All right, one more time.
How about now? Hopefully now that works.
I muted everything else that was down there.
Thumbs up.
Okay, yep, that's what it was. Too many audio streams. We'll fix all that. Stupid Streamlabs. All right. We're good.
I think I saw that they're releasing a new streaming software. There's Streamlabs, there's OBS, but there's a new one that is supposed to help use like AI to create little animations and notifications saying you're getting a donation. So you can kind of create your own like notifications.
We've done that, I guess, manually. We've done that in the past because our founder hates pineapple on pizza. So there's a little emoji that's a pineapple resting on a slice of pizza that we definitely have every time we get a donation. And actually, for all of the different fundraisers, because everybody's allowed to make their own, if a donation comes in, it just doesn't have like the credit, then it just defaults to pineapple
on pizza.
Yeah, so the Slack channel all day is just pineapple pizza, pineapple pizza, pineapple pizza. So yeah, usually I have headset earphone and I have microphone, but this now also has application audio capture, beta, audio input capture, window capture. So all those were turned on. So that's a problem. There should have been 8 of you. Yes.
So that would be why things were there that way.
You should have been a feedback loop, actually.
Uh-huh.
So, but that's not why we're here. We're here to talk about all the good things that GuardiansMH do. And now that people can hear you and understand you, and you're actually, I think that tells me one of the older ones we did, Fireside chat wise, why I could hear my guest twice. But it's all good. So, in your own words, other than saying you use geek therapy for people's mental health, so tell everybody who's listening, tell everybody in chat a little bit about GuardiansMH. How did it originate? How did you get involved? All the fun stuff. Like, give me your origin story.
Sure. Well, we've done this so many times. So GuardiansMH, before we were called GuardiansMH, we were initially called the Same 14 Project. It was just a group of guys that kind of met up online and wanted to do some fundraisers for mental health. I joined up late 2017 when they put out an announcement that they wanted to have this like first mental health stream. And at the time, I was doing my doctoral degree. I was big into geek therapy, even before it was a thing, and big into video games. It was part of my background, and it just felt like this logical fit. So we did our first charity stream in January 2018, and then we just continued doing, I think we did 4 that first year. Then we created a podcast. We switched from the St. 14 project to Project Guardians, where we just had our like Discord server, and we came to a point, me and Joe, where we decided that all right, we're kind of wanting to do our own thing rather than just raise money for other charities. So we became our own charity, and I think we got incorporated back. Joe can correct me on this. I think it was in 2019. We got our incorporation, and we became Guardians MH. And since then, we've been doing a variety of programs. Mainly, we had a Discord. We're kind of working on some things on the back end, but we provide mental health resources, tools, strategies to the greater gaming and fandom communities. And we do that a couple ways. One of them being our mental health kit programs, which is probably the most popular program that we have, where we have curated a variety of mental health kits. If you want, I have a couple of examples next to me here that are printed resources, tools, strategies that are all evidence-based. So they're written by and validated by licensed mental health professionals to make sure that what is there is something we would even provide a client. It's not a replacement for therapy, but more so to be used in conjunction with a therapist. And it's to help people develop their own self-care toolkit. We also have our mental health bot called the
Yes.
RTS bot.
Yep.
It can be available on Twitch, on Discord, on our mobile app, and it provides a 24/7 on-demand access to vetted mental health resources. And I think last time we checked, it was serving like over 500,000 people in a variety of different servers at any one point.
Wow. Yes. So I still have I still have my St. 14 Project hoodie.
Oh, I still have I still have a I don't know if I still have the hoodie, but I know I still have a T-shirt somewhere.
Yeah, that was the first because I met Joe. God, you know it's funny because think about talking about name changes. Like I met you guys at Guardian Con, which is now
GCX.
GCX, right? Okay, I know you guys go to all the you are out there a lot. Like you're at a lot of cons. You give away a lot of mental health kits. And I think in that aspect, you're a lot like us. Like we're not in business to make money. We're not in business to profit. We're literally like it costs us money to investigate the activities of the people online, but we give that to law. Like we never charge law enforcement for what we do. You know what I mean? And so I know with the mental health kits, there's a lot of I don't even know what prep for a con looks like for you guys in terms of like just how many do you prepare to give away?
Oh, Joe, thank God for Joe and his family that are like helping produce and fill out all of those kits. Generally, we bring to any given show maybe 250 to 400 kits. And we kind of have to like hide some of them because if not, first day or two, they're all gone. Because all of our programs are free for those listening. Everything Guardians MH provides is free, and those kits do come from donations, either through our charity streams or other people as donations to help keep those kits free to provide those kits, those tools to individuals kind of all around the world. With the state of shipping, it is very expensive. So generally, the shipping is in the US or mainly through cons, but that's why we developed our mental health app where we have access to all of our kits in digital formats. You just don't have like the physical stuff, and you have access to the RTS bot there as well,
You guys and gals.
which is also free, doesn't collect any data.
Thank you. Yeah, please clarify that. It doesn't train our AI models. Blah blah blah. The the mental health kits are you have like I don't want to say sub specializations, but
Yeah.
like you guys do a ton with veterans.
So we have our veteran kit here that we developed with a variety of veteran specific
We
organizations.
didn't rehearse that, Chad. That he totally like.
I have some right here.
Yep.
We have one that is like Destiny
Destiny.
the game
Yep.
theme. So we work directly with Bungie. We come from the Destiny community.
Yeah.
So we've done a lot of things with Bungie. Right now, we're on the tail end of the Stress Awareness Month, and there's a donation drive going through Bungie right now for the new Love is the Mind Saver Destiny emblem, and you can get a pin that the proceeds do go to Guardians MH.
That's pretty darn cool. They've done. Bungie's been very community focused for a long, long time. I mean,
They
they've.
have.
I have a bunch of the pins over the years that we've collected, and I'll tell you, like some of the relationships that we made, some of the people that we've networked with through the Bungie years, through the Destiny years, and all that are still folks who are very supportive. I know both of your organization and of ours. Courtney Taylor, who is in one of the voice actors in the game for multiple roles, just
Mhm.
donated some autographs for ILF Fest for us. And she's also in Fallout 4 and uh, you name it. She's in between her and Sissy Jones. I think they've got the place surrounded, right? The two of them.
Mhm.
Um,
That and Brandon O'Neill helped us. He helped voice one of the characters. Well, he voices Crow,
yeah,
but he during the Bungie specific Destiny the Game mental health kit, I wrote a guided meditation with the Bungie narrative team, and it kind of guides your guardian through like the initial resuscitation through the cosmodrome into the tower, and
really.
Brandon did the initial monologue, which is the speaker's initial monologue.
He's he's first of all he's a fascinating dude.
Mhm.
Um, we were lucky enough to get before Crow even came back. I think we when we still had Happy Hour from the Tower as our podcast, our Destiny podcast. He was great to come on. God, there were so many. Joy Osmansky still. We just went up to New York to see her in something. Um, she voices Failsafe. Just delightful human being. If you get a chance, we actually for ILF Fest reached out to her, and she came on, and she had just done Stargirl,
Okay.
and she brought her work husband from Stargirl, who was from Lost. So yeah, there's a lot of mutual geeking out in terms of just the folks we have. But when people find out that you do the work for mental health, there I think everything else kind of washes aside, right? Like I don't care what your politics are, I don't care what your occupation is. Like people understand you're doing good things, and we get it a lot too. Because as soon as we're like, we protect children and let them experience the digital playground safely, they
Mhm.
people tend to be like, oh, thank you for what you do. Now, then the next thing that inevitably we get is, I do that on the side, but I do it this way. And I'm like, that's awesome, but that's some vigilante stuff that's completely not admissible in court. So
Mhm.
you're not really helping anybody out. All you're doing is,
There's a way to do it. There's a right way to do the things.
yeah. So veterans, gamers, one of the things that kind of like, wait, you can do that was the thing that you guys just launched a little while ago. I'm make sure I get the right name for it, which is the Mental Collab.
Oh, the mental health collab, yeah.
Yeah. So tell
So
me a little bit about that.
so one of the reasons we kind of launched the mental health collab and a lot of the programs that we do, like you mentioned, that there's a kind of right way to do something and there's a wrong way to do something. And in the mental health field, and even in the health field as a whole, it's been inundated with creators on TikTok and people spouting a whole bunch of information that you don't know. Do they have the education? Do they have the credentials? Do they have the backing to actually speak and validate what they're saying? And some places like YouTube's doing better. They kind of put a little banner on the bottom saying, "Oh, this is provided by a licensed physician in the US." So
Okay.
you know that like a licensed physician is speaking to you and what they're saying generally comes from empirically sound and validated sources. But when it comes to like TikTok, it's kind of the Wild West. And there have been recent studies in the last years that I think over 90% of like the TikToks that you can see either are false information, misleading information, or provided by someone that has no credentials to actually talk about the things that they're talking about. But the way that people kind of relate to things, one is first instance bias. So if you see something the first time, you're going to go with that. Or if someone's super engaging versus a health commentator or health speaker, which we're generally boring and we typically aren't very engaging and very dry. So we need to do a better job at that. So people will go with the more engaging people, even if the information isn't necessarily correct. That's why our mental health kits on our app, and even with the mental health collab, we strive to work with people that have a valid practicing license, that have the degrees, that are able to speak to things that are empirically sound, that are validated through empirical evidence to provide the best information possible. And we wanted to do it for free.
Yeah.
So for people that are wanting to get into streaming, there's a whole bunch of things that can happen to new streamers or even veteran streamers when they aren't necessarily prepared for. Because Twitch provides this super inviting environment where people can come in, they can come hang out, they chat, you kind of get to know the streamer. But because of the nature of Twitch or any other streaming platform, it creates this parasocial relationship where you get to know the streamer, but the streamer doesn't know who you are.
That's so
And
so
people,
thermal. There's your bingo card. So parasocial.
yeah,
We had a bet 728 when we were going to hear parasocial for the first time in tonight's interview. Yeah.
it's been it's something that's more into the cultural zeitgeist now with like Twitch and everything. I studied the thing back in like the early 2010s. So I was doing my bachelor's thesis and my doctoral thesis on parasocial relationships back in, I finished writing in 2016, 27,
Okay.
18.
Okay.
It's been a while.
The
But
Go ahead. Keep going.
yeah, so again, with Twitch and the nature of it, because of parasocial relationships, people get super comfortable and they'll tend to open up. They'll tend to maybe trauma dump. Sometimes when they're not doing so well, they don't have access to quality and qualified mental health care and treatment. They'll use these platforms as ways to vent or get support or use ChatGPT. I can go on a whole separate rant on ChatGPT and therapy.
Don't you start me on any Gen AI tools. Remember what we do for a living.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what happens is streamers can get caught off guard. They want to have this very inviting space, but people can abuse it, can use the platform to trauma dump and create a disruption in chat or just in the live stream as a whole. So we came together. We thought, well, what are the tools that we can provide to streamers so that they can be better prepared, have a better understanding of mental health, but also not perpetuate the negative stigmas within mental health. One of the modules that I did was on psychobabble, on how people are kind of co-opting therapy speak and not necessarily using the terms in the appropriate ways. Well, I'm so OCD because I like things all nice and tidy. No, you have a preference. Or that person's a narcissist because they disagreed with me. No, they had a different opinion.
Right. Yeah, and the way that the mental health collab is structured is it's almost like college course. You're almost like 101, 201. And they're modules, they're videos on demand modules that folks
Mhm.
can go through, that they can educate themselves, learn the resources, get access to the resources, and then there's a badge, of course, because we all like shiny badges at the end of taking a
Mhm.
course. But it's just one of the things. I know you have, and I love that there's overlap with everything you do. There's sort of like mental health is like the foundation. Then you get into like veterans are going to feel differently than gamers, and there's a live streamer support program, right?
Yeah,
Also,
yeah. So mainly that is to be used as like a training program. So we can help communities and we can help individuals to prepare their chat, prepare the mods as to how to handle these different circumstances. Because def depending on, like, the streamer or the type of platforms that they're using, they can be bombarded or inundated by the trauma dumps or, people that want to use the platform or hijack it, and mods or the streamer don't necessarily know what to do. They want to be welcoming, so they don't want to ban people, but they start going to, like, therapy, but they're not trained.
Well,
It
yeah.
kinda gets into the weeds, and we want to work with them to create a better understanding of, well, if someone's doing this, here's how you would kind of address it.
I had an opportunity last week. We worked with a sorority group that's a grad school sorority group, and they're really like a sisterhood of service. So they do a lot of
Mhm.
community work, things like that. And they really wanted to learn, Erin, our Erin, um, her, you two are in very similar, career paths, and
Mm.
it's how do we break the cycle of trauma? And I was like, look, I'm not the guy to ask, but she was kind enough to train me through just some of the materials that we had, enough to get them to. We're going to talk about some of the symptoms, some of the signs, and then go to the resources. Don't come to me because I'm not the mental health professional.
Mhm.
But it was interesting to think of it in the capacity of, I think the slides were probably written for parents and teachers, where you're really looking at, like, these are the signs at elementary school age, these are sign middle school age, these are sign high school age. But to think of it in terms of the thing that I was trying to explain this earlier to the non-streamer people, in one of my groups, was it's the collaboration. It's the people in chat are part of the experience, and they
Mhm.
can really drive, especially if you're like, hey, chat, like, which answer should I give in this dialogue choice, right? So
Mhm.
they can be active instead of just passively watching television. Like, you're not going to say,
Mhm.
you know, Daredevil should punch the Kingpin in the face at the scene, uh, but you can be part of it, and that's what works really well for charity, which is, you're like, hey, for this much donation, we'll go do the thing, right?
We're gonna get a pie to the face, which is kind of our things.
We got, yeah, you go, yeah, definitely, yeah. We did D&D, and we're like, yeah, just throw it out there. If somebody wants to drop this donation on us, we'll just drop a dragon on the level one party. Why not? And yeah, so we did. Uh, but those things where, you get that people pleaser type of thing where, like, you don't want
Mhm.
to insult the folks in chat because they are your community to an extent, but also, like,
Mhm.
you have to recognize there's a line, right?
Yeah, and a lot of streamers are afraid to be known as that streamer that just bans people.
Yeah.
Because you want to say, "Oh, I have this welcoming environment or space that we promote mental well-being," but then you're just banning people left and right, which creates this precedent. And in the early days of when we were doing this and when we had created our peer support server, we had encountered so many people that came to us because they were banned
Oh,
from their communities and wanted to have this type of support. But again, we are not therapy. We don't put ourselves out there as being your therapist. A lot of us are like licensed mental health professionals, but we're not your therapist.
got it.
So we kind of have to walk that fine line between what is educational and providing the info versus falling into the line of therapy,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
it can be a very slippery slope. And I've seen other creators online that kind of skirt that line, and they do provide a lot of great information, but they skirt that line, which is very precarious.
I see the caricature of that all the time because my wife has her PhD, when you're in a social gathering or a business networking event or any of those things, you introduce somebody as Dr. Kelly, and next thing you know, like, this true story. I was like, hey, it's my wife, Dr. Kelly, and so she's talking to this woman who had walked up to us, and I go get her a glass of water, and I come back, and literally the sentence I walk in the middle of is, and that's how my son is wound up in prison. You're like, no, 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 she's not that doctor. Like, hold on. I know that. Yeah, I know she's got a doctor title, but don't just assume that, like, like you just said, like, hey, I am a mental health professional, but I'm not your therapist. Is a whole different beast.
When I'm on a plane, I am an accountant.
Oh, that's safe. I like that. Uh,
No one wants to talk taxes on a plane.
yeah, people have very different reactions when you yeah, I'm in cybersecurity, and they're either most of the time they're kind of like, oh, that's a good career to be in, and then they just sort of leave it at that because they don't know the nitty gritty parts of that stuff. So, but then sometimes also it's just kind of like, you know what, I'm a musician. Like you just chameleon it. You're on a plane, whatever,
Mhm.
whatever works. Um, there are other games, and I mentioned this because I was on the site, and there's definitely a vibe to the games that are mentioned on there. Are there just like super super chill? I'm peopled out. I don't like maybe not burned out, but just kind of like I'm at the end of the day, and my mental gauge, my fuel tank's kind of empty. Like, are there games that you either put on to play, or even, and I found a couple of us do this, just put on to let that title screen music play?
Oh, Joe's gonna call me on this on chat. Um, I am a big Final Fantasy VII fan,
Okay.
and just the music of Final Fantasy VII just it gets you in the feels.
Yeah.
But if I'm wanting to play a game to like relax, there's quite a few games that are really good. Stardew can be really good. Um, I highly recommend people play Flower. I don't know if you've ever played Flower.
No.
So it's from that game company.
Okay.
They're the ones that also made Journey and Sky.
I love the aesthetic of Journey. Like I think it's
Oh, I have a poster of Journey in my office.
okay.
And it's a great game. But what Flower did, because it was back on the PlayStation 3 and it used the DualShock 3 motion controls,
Uh-huh.
you control the wind.
What?
And you control the wind and you pick up petals in flowers in a field and you have to collect all the flowers to kind of make them bloom, and you move from area to area to kind of make this world bloom. And it is kind of an allegory to how humanity's kind of taking over with industry, but you're still trying to make nature grow.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's going on a bunch of wish lists as we talk right now. That
And
sounds so
the
good.
game, the music of the game is so soothing. I fell asleep to that game a
Yeah.
couple times because you're playing and you're just and you're dozing off.
Yeah. That definitely, like music wise, it's the Xenoblade series for me. Like that, there are certain maps where you're just kind of like, I know it's going to add up to the hours I put into the game, but also I just want to stand here on the edge of this, like the edge of this valley, and just listen to this song for a couple minutes. Uh, and then I think Expedition 33's got some just insanely amazing.
I've heard so many good things about that game. It's on my short list of next game to play.
It's it's really. I think you'll love it from the story aspect of
Mm.
just even the setup. Once you get to like the prologue, and you're like, holy cow, that's what these folks are living uh, year over year over year with. It's.
Mm.
I won't spoil anything. It's just I really enjoyed the hell out of it. I actually, I mean, this will not shock you. I like B. Thermal played it. Thermal finished it. And Thermal was like, "You need to play this game." And I was like, "Charlie Cox is in it from Daredevil. I need to play this game." I'm such a Daredevil mark. Uh,
I
and it
also like
was
the fact that it's French.
it's
So
very
it
French.
speaks to my French Canadian heritage. It's
Oh,
France French, but close enough.
and French instrumentation too. Like there's a lot of like yeah. I don't think a modern American composer would have put that blend of instruments into it. Um, what is Plane? What is Plane, the meditation
So
game?
yeah, Plane is a meditation game. I don't have it here. So we worked with a developer. He made this game and we absolutely loved it. So it's kind of a meditation training game. And you start off with your little fox. You have like a wooden stump, and it's training you to how to do breathing exercises, how to do like guided meditations. And by doing that, you're kind of growing your forest. And the
Huh.
more you practice, the more it kind of creates this ambiance, and it's gamifying meditations.
I don't know. I've never heard of that. I have no idea. I've never heard of that. That's for as many
And I
years
think
as
they
yeah.
recently launched the mobile version as well, so you can play it on mobile on iOS and Android.
I think for everyone who has to travel for work, that should be mandatory. That should just be like I don't know if you yeah, well yeah maybe even at the end of the day when you're at a con and you're just kind of like that would be perfect. Seems like I know Joe's big on this because I know so Joe's in chat. I'm gonna call Joe out, but
Mm,
um, painting miniatures. It's another thing that you all do for like mindfulness and like be in the moment.
yeah.
And what's
And
tell me
Joe
about how that
started
started?
off
Yeah,
those painting nights because we've been going to a whole bunch of shows, more so Joe because I'm up in Atlantic, Canada, so air travel is really expensive.
yeah,
So Joe's doing a lot more of the shows, and we're seeing this growing trend where video games at these conventions are kind of slowing down. Uh, there's not as many developers there,
okay.
but TTRPGs are kind of taking over. And one of the big things that they had there was miniatures and miniature painting. And we were approached by a couple of mental health professionals, that one of them being a art therapist and a couple of miniature painters in like the general community, saying how miniature painting is a great mindfulness exercise. So we started working with brands and other organizations to create a mindful painting kit. So it's like a separate mental health kit to help people get into miniature painting. And Joe hosts a weekly painting night where it's just super cozy. They're painting, talking on stream. And we did a painting stream, I think it was 2 weeks ago, with the Bungie Foundation.
That's
We're supposed to have our show here a
yeah,
couple weeks ago, but I
yeah,
was
that's right.
double booked with the Bungie Foundation.
That's right.
Actually, have them down here.
Let's see. Let's. Joe did a mimic on one Saturday night that I just sat there watching and it was cathartic. Like even just not even being the one doing the brushstrokes, but just watching like uh, the color palette and the choices and everything else. So it yes, it's
Yes.
cool if you do it. If it's too much for you, if it's too much for your eyesight or anything like that too, it's still fun to watch.
Yeah, and it's fun getting into like the different brushes and the different kind of paints. So I did like a small, just a little.
Yeah,
We're doing
Ghost.
mini ghosts, so a little
Yeah,
purple ghost. Have been working on a little white one. Um, had this one here, which was doesn't really come out too well, but it was a take on a kintsugi bowl. So
huh.
the kintsugi is a Japanese pottery art form where you take a broken piece of pottery and weld it back together by inlaying it with gold, silver, or brass.
Oh yeah.
And it represents that things aren't really broken; they just change in utility.
That's so good.
And the main one that I did was a Super Saiyan Goku ghost.
Of course it was. A Goku Ghost, so
Yeah,
on
chat
brand.
gave me the idea. So, well, I kind of have to do that.
Absolutely. Um, so there's a bunch of ways that folks can get involved with Guardians MH, right? Um,
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of ways.
talk a little bit about the Guardians Mental Health Ambassador program. If there's anybody you want to shout out, because you guys have a lot of ambassadors.
Oh, our ambassador team is ever growing, and we have an awesome group of ambassadors where they apply to join the team. We have their own separate Discord where we can provide like trainings for them and resources for them, and they help us like promote mental health and promote the work that we do. They also have like the RTS bot in their chats and help us during our main live streams and our charity drives. So we do like a 48-hour charity drive and have a variety of streamers that just take like 1 hour blocks and have like different donation incentives and have a lot of fun and get pied in the face. And apparently next time, Joe already decided that I'm going to have my wife wax my leg if we reach a certain donation goal.
Okay. Uh, that's hilarious. We did the Sandwich of Sadness one year, which was like there were tiers, $1,000, 1,500, 2,000, whatever they were, and for each one of those, we got to add one more absolutely disgusting ingredient to this sandwich that the CEO had to eat, and
Okay.
it got, dude. I don't know why people like to donate so much money to watch somebody physically suffer, but it
Oh,
was
we
a
had
thing.
the Bean Boozled. Yeah, one of the donations was if you like donate, you spin a wheel and they get
Oh
a Bean
yeah,
Boozled.
yeah. Those are fun too. Yeah, and I love that because with the ambassadors, it's all there's no like the restrictions are they're kind of off. Like they've been vetted. You know that they're going to do good
Mhm.
things. You know they're going to do right by the organization. But what they come up with could be something you've never thought of. There was a group that they were playing D&D, and there was a time increment, like maybe every 30 minutes, or a donation increment. And when you hit that donation increment, it changed who the dungeon master was. Like mid story, like you better be on your game
So,
because if all of a sudden you're running the show, like that's not something that just you can just go, yeah, cool, and we can all do it just equally. So I thought that was
and a lot of them played Destiny, and you could do like pick their loadouts,
yeah.
or you could handicap them or help them. A lot of them play like other games. I know some people play like Art Raiders or Helldivers.
Yeah. It's just fascinating to me. Like when
One
folks
of
who
our ambassadors plays Smite.
what? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Uh, it doesn't matter what your fandom is. Like everybody kind of just
Mhm.
comes together for the cause, right? For over that
Mhm.
48-hour
Absolutely.
period, and and I think as hanging out in the chat and then moving to the next streamer to the next streamer to the next streamer, you get exposed to so many cool things you didn't know that you wanted to play or wanted to watch or wanted like I didn't know that I was gonna like watch people crash face fake race cars, fake NASCARs, but I also didn't know that I would watch people paint miniatures. You know what I mean? So it's one of those cool things where you just sort of
And it's
discover a lot.
incredibly relaxing to just sit there and paint miniatures. Like I said, it's a great mindfulness exercise because when we were doing the live stream with Bungie, the 2 hours went by like that.
Yeah, you can't be doom scrolling every 2 seconds because you're like, no, you're in that was me. I don't know how COVID affected you, but like I was too many nights where I was in my office still at 8 or 9 o'clock at night, and it was like, you know what? How do I get out of this office? And I just bought 15 cookbooks, and like that's my catharsis. Like I'll just go make something I've never made before, and then if people think it tastes good, that's even better. If they think it tastes awful, then you win or you learn, right?
Mhm. And
Yeah,
it's all
yeah,
about trying new things, but also learning about new people. And what's so great about the ambassador program is we've been able to meet so many incredible people that are from a variety of walks of life that have their own passion for mental health and wanting to help in whatever way they can.
yeah. And that speaks to a lot about everything that Guardians does because it's not just we're in this shoebox where we're just going to help gamers with their mental health. Like I know on your
Mhm.
resources page, there's and with the RTS bot, there's resources for crisis, there's resources for abuse, LGBTQ, and yeah, veterans, gamers, streamers, like all those things. But I think the recognition is there that you kind of have to meet everybody where they are,
Mhm.
right? And then
Yeah, because at first we mainly focused on gaming because that's kind of where we came from,
yeah,
but we've kind of grew and molded to like this entire fandom because yeah, gamers need the representation, but there's way more than just people that play games. There are people that play D&D, people that paint miniatures, there's people that watch anime that there's a whole bunch of different fandoms that need to have these resources. And if we like pigeonhole ourselves, we're not going to provide the resources that we want to everyone.
you're gonna miss out on a lot of enjoyment.
Mhm.
Also, you know what I mean? Like I have a buddy who Nerd Gains is his handle, and he's a really nerdy bodybuilder. And but we were at a con, and I don't know anime, and he every cosplayer and I was like, what? Who's that from? Like, what's that? And I started thinking, I need to watch that, right? And next thing I know, I'm watching Chainsaw Man, and I'm like, what? I didn't even know what this is, but also it's amazing. You know what I mean? So you just sort of like
Mhm.
just don't. don't have those limiting beliefs. Don't box yourself in. And
Because people look at anime as like, oh, there's just like this kiddie Japanese stuff. And yeah, there is some of that, but anime goes super deep to its roots back dating back to World War II, and as a way to help the Japanese kind of cope with Hiroshima.
holy cow.
Like that's the origins of anime, of how to stay positive during these trying times. And that's why a lot of animes tend to be so positive and create this synergy of people to surmount what is insurmountable.
All right, chat. So join us for our 77-part series on the history of anime with Dr. Goku. No, this has been awesome. We're coming up near the top of the hour, and I want to make sure everybody has a chance to understand where they can find you, what you guys have going on next, where the next con, where the next appearance is, any big events coming up on the stream, charity. Just put it all out there. I mean, we want to make sure, we're going to record this and get this reposted everywhere that we can. And I just, you're so gracious with your time. All of you are, the whole organization is, and you come from a place of service, and it's awesome to just vibe with somebody who is doing great things for people who may know they need the help, may not know they need the help, but also again, you guys try to provide for everybody without putting yourself at risk, and I love everything about it. I ate the mental health collab stuff up in like an afternoon. You know what I mean? It's just fascinating.
And that's what we kind of made it for. We didn't want to make it super dense. And because again, I've done so many online trainings that are snooze fests. And the thing that irked me the most with a lot of online trainings is the video and audio quality was absolute trash.
Wow.
And if I'm going to be paying $500 for a training, I'm hoping to at least have like 1080p with a decent microphone.
Right.
So we partnered with Beacon Mics.
Okay.
We met them at GCX, and we kind of created this partnership with them where they helped us with the audio. So they sent us a whole bunch of the Beacon mics and the Beacon stream stuff to make sure that the audio quality for the mental health collab is like superb. And the guys at Beacon have been like great. They helped us like set up our gear and help like EQ the mics to make sure that what we were providing wasn't going to be like speaking on like an old iPhone earpod microphone, and actually have like they don't have a camera, but again, making sure that the audio quality is there, and their gear is fabulous.
Yeah, you get that limbic distraction where it just takes you right out of it, right? You know what I mean? Like all the P's pop or the S's hiss, and you're like, I can't concentrate. There was one presenter who I remember at a conference, and a couple minutes in, I just put my head down, and my friend who was with me goes, "What's wrong?" And I said, "This presenter has said the word more than I've heard in my entire life," and so it's those things, like, you don't take away from the point that you're trying to. If what you have to say is important, then make sure that every obstacle to getting it to the audience is out of the way.
And wanted to make sure that every module wasn't like an hour long.
Yeah.
Want to be packed with information, but something that you could enjoy, and something that's not too long, and then you can just move on. You could do it like in one afternoon, or you can do bits and pieces here and there.
And it's cool because they're all broken up in, there's like topics and then subtopics. And like you said, Psychobabble is a great example. So you could watch that training, and you know what, man, just walk outside, do a lap, get your vitamin D, and digest it, right? Instead of some of the format of some of the trainings that you take where you're like, I got to memorize all this stuff because there's a quiz at the end. And then you're not paying attention. You're just trying to memorize, you know what I mean? And then you don't retain anything because you're like, okay, I passed that. And then you just let it all go. So Joe said you guys are going to be at GCX. You're going to be at PAX West, Unplugged, Mental Health Awareness Charity Campaign, and several more shows this year across North America.
Yeah. So next month we're going to it's a mental health awareness month.
Yep.
So we're going to be doing quite a bit there. GCX, PAX West, Unplugged, which are going to be the bigger ones. Hopefully things kind of settle down with like air travel out here. Maybe I can go to one of the shows, but right now things expensive.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
And with the mental health collab, we're working on the back end, trying to create new modules to like add some new ones as time goes on. So we want to
that's
just
cool.
continue building the library. Right now, I'm working with some nutritionists to provide some videos on nutrition.
That's good. Yeah, that's excellent. They definitely go hand in hand. One of the earlier fireside chats we did was the author of Broken Still Built, the founder of the Sophia Graham Foundation. His name's Kelly Kirk, and he was talking about physical health and mental health being hand in hand. And one of the things that foundation does is for the folks who are struggling with mental health issues, like they'll pay for the gym membership just so you go and you feel better because you're releasing the right hormone, the right chemical reaction on it. He explains it way better than I do. It's not my area of expertise, but like those types of things.
Yeah, the meme of I'm taking a stupid walk for my stupid mental health is true.
Yeah.
I say that to my wife all the time. It's like I'm going outside during lunch. I'm taking a stupid walk for my stupid mental health and just going around the block. Mind you, I am catching Pokemon while I'm doing that, but it serves a dual purpose.
Yep, we all have the things that we nerd out about. I promise you. So that's amazing. So GuardiansMH.org is the site, right? Mm-hmm. And same on all the socials.
Yeah, we're Guardians MH on everywhere, and through our site you can get access to like our mental health kits. You can access the RTS bot and all of the programs that we have.
Awesome. Yeah. So I nominate Erin as tribute for Mental Health Month next in May. If you need her for anything, don't tell her.
Well, I'll bring her over and we can.
I'm sure you will. Our next couple of things are. I don't think it's public. We're presenting to the Maryland Polygraph Association next month. I know I'm doing that with a couple of folks. And then July, I believe it's going to be either the 18th or the 25th. Is going to be the rescheduled ILF Fest 2026, featuring a whole bunch of silliness and gaming and doing great things for charity. Doc,
I'll be there.
Yeah, I know you will. No spoilers.
No spoilers.
We literally have like a silhouette social media post, like guess who this character is. Yeah, so like don't tell anybody. Yeah, so I mean, I appreciate your time as always. And Joe for being here in chat, and everybody else who's joined us and listens to this now or later. And I'm going to work on getting the RTS bot on our Discord because it's something that's been on my list for a while. And again, GuardiansMH.org to find our great friends from Guardians. Thanks for being here.
Even included on your Twitch.
Yes. Yeah. Included on your Twitch. Exactly. Thanks for being here on a Tuesday night fireside chat with Innocent Lives Foundation. ILF is a non-vigilante, nonprofit organization that identifies anonymous child predators online, develops and delivers specialized training for law enforcement, and provides educational resources for parents, teachers, and caregivers. You can find out more at innocentlivesfoundation.org. And I think we're going to call it right just to 8 p.m. Right on the nose.
Yeah, right on the nose. And thanks for having me. It was a blast just to talk and nerd out.
Every time. Yep. You're always welcome. You get free pass. You get like the get out of jail free card, free pass, whatever it is. I don't know.
We have to stay on the rails because if not, we derail quite easily.
See, now I gave the close, and now we're gonna get to it anyways.
So. Exactly.
All right, we're out of here. You're gonna go play your Switch 2. I'm gonna go play a little Star Wars because I've never played this game before, and we'll talk to you soon.
Well, if you want to hop on Star Wars one of these nights, let me know. It's super fun.
You and Joe are both welcome to come on Star Wars Day. We'll put together. We'll throw everybody in Discord, and then we'll just rotate through who gets to be in the game.
Send me the invite.
Done. All right. Thank you, Doc. Appreciate it. Thank you, Guardians, and thank you, chat. And we will see you soon.